The dissatisfaction within Putin's inner circle is growing, besides a lot of Ukrainian spies already being part of it. At the same time, this war is slowly drifting towards Russian regions bordering with Ukraine, so no wonder Putin is scared, and he is at this point, he really wants these security guarantees. He potentially is even ready to talk, he just does not even know it himself yet. But more about all this in just a couple of minutes. What's up, investors? It's the Russian dude. And let's get right to the point and talk about some ridiculous Russian propaganda. So yes, today we have the Minister of Defense of Russia, Sergei Shoigu, who came from his best trip ever in North Korea, so he does not look that happy anymore. And long story short, he was inspecting some military vehicles and military equipment of the Russian army. And just believe it or not, all I can think about while watching this video is something like this. So the guy is showing the tank to Sergei Shoigu and he's saying, Sergei Kojugetovich, this is called a tank. It is doing like drive, then it does like pew pew, and then the enemy force is like oi, is that. Then Sergei Shoigu takes this canned food and he's probably explained that. Sergei Kojugetovich, this is canned meat. This is what usually soldiers eat on the front lines. Sergei Shoigu takes it in his hands like, but how you can eat it? It is so hard. Well, Sergei Kojugetovich, first you have to open it. Sergei Shoigu for sure looked very bamboozled, so he is like, open? With what? This big pencil, how do you do it? No, Sergei Kojugetovich, this is not a big pencil, this is so-called ammunition. So it does like fly, enemy boom boom, and that's it, we kinda win war. And well, the only logical reaction of Sergei Shoigu after this will be like,
you look like a very smart person. Well, in fact, a little bit way too smart to hold the secrets of the state. So, guys, take him straight to jail.
And well, looks like that no one's seen this guy ever since, because it is statistically impossible to escape from Gulag in Siberia. And speaking about statistics, I just realized that 55.3% of you guys watching these videos are not subscribed. That's very unfortunate. I do not want to send you to labor camps. So let's change this, right? Can you please like this video and subscribe to my channel then? And since the weekend is right here, you can also follow me on Instagram, because I'm traveling to a secret place and I'll try to make some Instagram stories. The link is down below. And so yes, Alexey Navalny. You probably heard about the guy, the main opposition force to Putin's regime. So he is currently serving a 9-year term in jail for allegedly fraud. And recently he has been added 19 more years on his sentence in allegations to extremism. And besides that, as you can see from this article, this verdict has been handed down to him in the high security prison, which basically means in case he stays all the way until the end of his term, he'll be 74 by the time he is out, staying every single day in the highest security prison possible. And this article I was able to find on ground.news, today's partner, and the website which I have been personally using every single day for the last 5 months, whenever I was preparing for my daily news reports. This is by far the best place to receive your daily news on any topic. It literally has everything. And just take a look at this. Each article is pulled from many different resources, such as for example right here is 142, right here is 101, and right here is 19 different sources. And you can always follow your desired topics that you want to track, such as for example for me it will be the news about Ukrainian war. And if we scroll down, first of all it will be the top news about Ukrainian war, then it will be the blind spots, and then all the latest coverage. And if we open any particular article, such as for example ours about Alexey Navalny, we can then later see the bias distribution. And as you can see right here, it is mainly reported by the neutral central media. And one of the best and my personal favorite features of ground news is that it allows you to compare the headlines of different medias. And as you keep scrolling down, you can also see even the factuality of each article, such for example right here high factuality, high factuality, and right here for example is already mixed one. So you can always focus mainly on high factuality articles and try not to read the ones which are mixed or even low factuality in order to avoid the fake news. And speaking about the blind spot, if at any single point you're feeling a little bit adventurous, you can see how the other side of the political spectrum reports the news. And so, if you want to try ground news for yourself and unlock the unlimited access to all the features for only around $5 per month, please go ahead and use my link in description, ground.news/RussianDude. This is by far the best service to read your daily news, and like I mentioned previously, I have been personally using it every single day for almost half a year. And most importantly, if you use my link ground.news/RussianDude, this is one of the best ways to support the channel. And so yes, now let's quickly talk about the update from the east and the south of Ukraine, where the first lines of defenses of Russians are confidently breached. And then we'll talk about the attacks against the territory of Russia. And then finally we'll talk about the security guarantees for Putin. And first of all, we have to go to the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv, where, as you can see from this video, they are testing these combat kayaks. It is equipped with the grenade launcher, it can carry a cargo of up to 480 kilograms, and its motor is almost silent, which makes it a perfect military vehicle to do sabotage and reconnaissance activities. Then we refer to the report by the Institute for the Study of War, which claims that Russians have been trying to advance next to Kupiansk's Svatovye-Kreminna front line and reportedly even made some gains, small ones, in certain areas. But at the same time, Ukrainians were also able to capture some land to the south of Kreminna and next to Vuhledar. And at the same time, Ukrainians were able to destroy a large ammunition warehouse of Russians located in Chervona Popivka. In addition to that, Ukrainians were able to successfully destroy an air defense system of Russians called Buk, and it just does not stop exploding for almost the whole entire minute. Please go ahead and take a look at this video for yourself, the full version is on my Patreon. And just overall, Ukrainians were able to destroy 12 artillery units, 1 radio station, 1 control point, 3 personnel focus areas, 2 air defense systems, and 3 ammunition warehouses of Russians in the last 24 hours alone. In addition to that, it is estimated that 29 settlements in Kharkiv region, or only approximately 1.8% of the entire region, is still under Russian occupation. And one last thing about the statistics, since the beginning of this war, Russia already launched 1,961 Shahed drones against Ukraine. And now, let me give you a similar quick update from the south of Ukraine, then we'll talk about the attacks against the territory of Russia and Putin's inner circle being infiltrated by traitors. And first of all, Ukrainians reportedly destroyed an assault group of Russians, along with their anti-tank guided missile position located in Robotyne. At the same time, Ukrainians successfully destroyed an armored personnel carrier of Russians BMP-3 using a simple and extremely cheap drone. But most importantly, according to Anna Malyar, Ukrainians already confidently breached the first line of defense of Russians along the Zaporozhye front lines in several places, and now they're marching towards the second line. And as you go even more down to the south, to Crimean Peninsula, to this small city called Feodosia, the local residents reported some very loud noises last night. Allegedly, these were the Ukrainian drones. But wait, there is more. The biggest news of the last 24 hours is that Ukrainians were able to attack Russian ships located next to Novorossiysk. As you can see from this video, the ship is almost sinking, while Russians previously they said that every single attack of these Ukrainian drones was successfully repelled. And we even have this video of a Ukrainian drone attacking this specific Russian ship, and the most surprising thing is that no one tried to even intercept it, just showing how useless Russian defenses sometimes can be. The full version of this video is also on my Patreon, there's still 1 week of free access, and the link is down below. And so, as you can see, this war is slowly drifting towards Russian regions bordering with Ukraine, and this is in addition to Putin's inner circle being infiltrated with traitors and Ukrainian spies. So I mean, it is no wonder Putin is scared. This idea has been once again reinforced by the chief of defense intelligence of Ukraine, Kirill Budanov, who is saying that Putin's most trusted advisors at this point are full of Ukrainians. He doesn't know it yet, because Ukrainians, they took and learned their lessons back from 2014 when they lost the informational war, so they started preparing in advance. And this is one of the main reasons why Ukraine in this specific war stays one step ahead of Russia all the time, and why Russians are not as successful as once again back in 2014, when they were able to capture Crimea pretty fast and almost without any consequences. And it is not just Ukrainians who are infiltrated in Putin's inner circle, it is also his allegedly most trusted partners, who became basically the traitors to him. Such as, for example, according to Igor Girkin, who made this statement like several weeks before being detained, he said that even some of the closest Putin's friends, they are already ready to push Putin to stop this war and potentially even give up him for him to be deposed, so that those people, they can save their lives and futures of their families, friends, and obviously themselves. And one of the main reasons for this, it is because they see that this war is going nowhere. Russia at this point reached its dead end, and there is almost no way to escape these consequences. That is why they start to cooperate with the West and with Ukraine to at least achieve some benefits and not for their punishment to be as severe. But as for now, there is not a single person yet who was able to make this first step. Everyone unfortunately is still afraid. But I mean, obviously everyone has its own price and a breaking point, so once again all we just need is one person to break and to start working actively against Putin, and then it will be most likely a chain reaction. And among such people could be potentially the Minister of Foreign Affairs Sergei Lavrov. Whenever he visited New York back in April, potentially there are some rumors that he was approached by the Western agents and he was forced to find whatever way possible to start talking actual peace negotiations and peaceful resolutions to this war. Even the president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko himself, even the president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko himself, the last remaining true friend of Putin, he is also saying that potentially, yes, something has to be done. There must be a resolution in the near future, potentially even in fall of this year. And ultimately, it all resulted in this statement by Dmitry Peskov, pretty much the mouth of Kremlin and one of the another closest representatives of Putin, is that yes, Putin is ready to talk, but it is Ukraine who does not want to talk with us. And then even Putin himself gave this very interesting and subtle interview, which is like you have to just read between the lines. This is what he basically said, is that first of all, yes, NATO possesses an extreme threat to the existence of Russia. Then he said that Russia is not against security guarantees for Ukraine, but as long as there are security guarantees for Russia as well. So at this point I can only guess if somebody already started to work on Putin and to probably change his mindset, even though it might be the most complicated task in the universe. But yes, he does give us hints that he understands that this war is going nowhere, he messed up, he wants to stop it somehow, but he does not want to make the first step and to look like the weakling. For this reason, he once again just gives these hints and he hopes that somebody will act on his behalf. But he does want security guarantees for Russia. And so yes, like mentioned previously, his inner circle is full of traitors and Ukrainian spies, and it only takes one person to initiate this chain reaction of the downfall of Putin's regime. So it will be very curious to see who this person will be. Most likely it will be the most unexpected person. Well, let's see. So please, in the meantime, place your bets in the comments who do you think this person will be, and if you don't want to miss the actual reveal of this guy or a girl, just can you please subscribe to my channel, only takes one click. Thank you so much Ground News for sponsoring this video, and all the useful links can be found down below. Thank you so much for your attention, товарищи, please follow me on Instagram, beware there are scammers in the comments, and see you on Tuesday.